have floorboards?
Yes.
Okay.
So, um, you guys drive through, and you, the Hudd Museum, you eventually get to it. It lies beneath the toppled skyscraper. One of its wings has been completely pulverized. Its gleaming white design subtly evokes the majestic star cruisers of the Utopian era, like the Farseeker, which is the ship that Brian was the captain of. Um, and there is something that you guys notice as you get very close to it. The atmosphere in a relatively small bubble around the ship is clean.
What?
Okay. That that brings the scrubber tech theory in. Okay.
Interesting.
Is it like a bubble around the structure?
Basically.
Penetrable?
It's just that the air's clean around it. We could walk into it, right?
No dome or anything?
No dome or anything.
That's weird. Let's go inside.
Sure.
Can I scan for any like airborne virus? Literally every like scrub clean.
Yeah.
Nothing about the.
Okay.
There's no sense troubling to be sensed.
No.
Faulty wiring.
Honestly, I was gonna take her rebreather off because
Well marked fire escapes.
You do find the main entrance, which is you can walk in through it. Do you want to like circle the building or anything?
bombs or anything.
Let's have the people go first.
Okay.
Circling's a good idea. Yeah.
Roughly how big is the building?
The
I'm
mapper
sorry.
wants to circle the building.
Large. It's a museum. It's a very important museum. It was the pride and joy of this planet.
I think we should have those yahoos go one way and we go another.
So as you circle the building, you don't find another entrance. Just the big, wide open front entrance.
No obvious signs of trouble. So yeah, it's only one way in.
After you, gentlemen.
Can I check for any like explosives first? That research-based mishap was a trip.
Aren't they going first?
I mean,
You can still check for explosives.
rather
if they're
there
not.
is no explosive at the door.
okay. Yeah, no, they can go in first now.
Okay. As soon as you guys enter the building, a cold, disembodied voice starts speaking. Welcome to the Brian Hudd Museum, a living tribute to the courageous and garbled deeds of Brian Hudd. Visit the Hall of Dura. Behold the many trophies confiscated by Brian Hudd from the Combine's most twisted and treacherous foes. Follow the life of Brian Hudd from humble beginnings here on Ares 3 to his renowned acts of valor and garble. Enter the Combatatorium. Step into the boots of Brian Hudd to battle the sinister Mohillar.
This sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
This sounds like exactly what Streets was saying.
Yep.
We're
Just
in the
a
right
little bit-
place.
Can we see where where the speakers are coming from?
No.
Can I do an energy signatures scan? Or I guess
Yeah.
scanning in general for things like that. Energy
So-
sigs, biosigs.
You find that the complex generators have been running for 3 days, except for the environmental control scrubbers on the roof, which have been going for longer.
Okay. Can I tell how long just
Nope.
from the scans or okay? And no other biosigs in the area?
Let's see. What does biosignatures? You find traces of Matt's DNA on the panel edge and the scattered tools lying on the floor beneath it for an open power panel that's visible near your point of entry.
Whose DNA?
That would be Jackamat.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So,
So they were here at some point before they went and lost their minds.
Something here
Okay.
has caused them to lose their minds.
Seems so.
Yep.
I don't like it.
No.
Hey guys, quiet powwow real quick. It might look bad if anything happens to these idiots who wanted to come with us, so maybe making them lemons is not the best idea.
Wasn't that your idea?
I thought the idea was that them being here is entirely of their, they
One
know.
accord. Yeah. How many? So are we in a lobby?
Yeah.
where in relation to where we are is the Fighting the Mohilar simulator?
Very close to you, actually. Just kind of directly ahead a little bit.
Okay.
What is there? Surely no pictorial descriptions of,
It's an empty arena lined with non-functioning hollow projectors. And after a few seconds, Lazaline pulls her weapon and shoots one of the 12 guys in the back, killing him.
Can I
Right.
attempt to
Have to
knock out
tackle my friend.
Lazaline?
Okay.
What was that?
I have to tackle
Can
my
I-
friend.
Yeah, can I attempt to knock her out?
Sure.
Wow, basically just help. Just help us all knock out our friend who has no control.
Sure. Make a scuffle test.
Cool. I'm gonna add a few points to this. I'm decided if I want 3. I'm gonna say 3 points to this.
Okay. By the way, Lazaline, you believe that you are Survey Chief Valerie Linan.
Of course I am. Who else would I be?
Exactly.
Great.
6.
6.
Altogether.
That is above Lazaline's to hit threshold, so please roll a d6 minus 1 for damage. And by the way, Lazaline, you are currently at -1 hit points.
I do nothing. I do literally nothing. I got a 1. 5? You beat a dick.
I mean, you guys can non-lethally shoot her.
Yeah. And that's what Iron does.
Okay.
Fuck.
How many points are you going to put into this?
I'm gonna put in. You know what? Heck, why not? I'll put in 2.
Okay.
And I rolled a 6.
Okay, yeah. D6 plus 1 damage.
Oh, right. 5 total.
Okay.
I am at -6.
Yeah, you're out.
I'm
Yeah.
out.
Is the rest of the mob reacting?
Yeah, they're pissed.
I'm gonna put my hand up. I'm gonna say, don't draw your weapons. This is an instance of interference. I'm gonna approach your downed member and use a bioprocess suspender.
Okay.
That's the one that will keep them from. It keeps the dead fresh, right?
Sure.
All right, let me check on
The phrasing, the way you just said "sure" worries me.
Hang on.
You'll get used to being worried about that particular tone of voice.
Oh, I assume so.
So, yeah. What do you guys want to do next?
I'm going to scan.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be. I hate to say I told you so. Talk over here, but
I guess I'm gonna go in there and start doing some scans to see
tried
what that...
we tried every possible way to convince you people not to come.
Ire, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go into that simulator and see, like...
You
with
guys
my
are in the
energy
simulator
scan
right now.
Up? Yeah. Yeah. With the scans up for energy for, I don't know, I guess, virology, just doing general scans to see what comes up, like what activates when
Nothing.
you enter. Nothing? Huh.
The holo projectors
no
try to turn on, but they don't work.
Okay. And there had been no spikes in energy or anything when she went in.
There was a quick burst.
Okay. What kind of energy?
Probably
Just like
data.
Radiation burst. Okay. And I'm gonna relay that to the group. Like, okay, somebody's uploading data to wherever they can reach. Fuck.
Oh, something we didn't think of until I realized just now, but in addition to my internal headset, I also have a head disc.
Okay. Is there any way for us to remove that safely?
Probably not.
Some brain surgery.
Dang.
So what I'm hearing is we need to have Leslie undergo brain surgery so we don't have to deal with this again.
No, I mean,
Get me out
head
of
disk
here.
is the one that records data, right? That you can then put
Oh,
elsewhere.
true.
Yeah. So thing next.
We need to find the origin of the signal.
Yep. What were you saying, Leslie?
The signal lockers that need a preparedness 5 or 7. The snowers. I guess I can roll for that. You know.
If the permanence of this is time related, physically removing me from the area might be a good idea.
That is fair. We
Yeah.
can tie you up and put you in the
4
truck.
hours away from the ship.
What was that?
Aren't we 4 hours away from where we landed?
Actually, no. Right now, you'd be about 2.
Oh, we went back. Okay.
I mean,
Either
not
way, we can
directly
still
back.
Tie her up and...
So you started here, the settlement's down here, and now you're over here.
All right, we need to restrain Lassaline.
We have no proof of this, but crazy brain hacking signals. I'm assuming that they're coming from the same location as what messed the ship up. We need to. This is a very serious threat. It needs to be.
What do you think's causing it?
Can I try to shut down the museum?
You can try.
Like, yeah, I'm just like, it's the museum. Something in the museum, I think, is doing something.
Sure.
Someone.
Let's do a full search of the place. Search for any sort of hidden surveillance.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Spend a few surveillance points to look for any sort of like secret, doors or hatches or, broadcasting equipment.
Yeah, Alistair?
Before we continue, we need to talk to the entire group and convince everyone to set their disruptors to non-lethal or almost non-harmful.
Well, my disruptor would have been set to non-lethal as a default.
Yeah. And then you flipped the switch as you pulled it.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty easy to.
All right. Can we talk to this other group and just earn their trust, reassure that we are trying to get to the bottom of this. The faster we can all move now as a cohesive unit, the less chance there is that this will happen again.
No, they're pissed and scared and leave.
Good.
So let's
Shit.
put us on the list of planets we can't come back to.
Can we get a readout of where the so we're in the Mohalar section right now?
You're in the Combatatorium. And what are you guys doing with Lazaline?
We were gonna tie her up and put her in the truck, honestly.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna do.
Does the rest of the
I
group
think
allow you
Akko
to
is
do
gonna
that?
try to-
I don't know.
Akko
Absolutely.
probably is like, you need to do this not here to make sure it can't be undone easily. Akko has no problem with this. Is like, she shot someone, put her in the truck.
Murdered someone.
Yes, she murdered a guy. Let's put her in the truck for now and
I
deal
don't-
with that.
Shot him in the
That-
back.
I don't think that's a good idea because what if that group, I don't know, sees us
They
do that
drive off.
and they drive off?
Yeah.
Fine.
They're out.
Yeah, we
I
should
mean,
probably.
worst comes to worst, I can sit and watch her. Like, oh, but then I can't scan for
We need you.
signatures. Ugh.
Volvet, how do you feel
It's-
about taking our friend with us? Like a
Sure.
scarf.
Yeah, we.
Vovid, it would slow anyone down carrying an unconscious body.
I don't feel comfortable leaving her here.
Do we know this person's name?
No.
They were wearing the same like general scav outfit as.
Yeah.
How far was the drive from here to the bar?
About 5 hours.
We're T-minus 10 hours to Angry Mom.
All right, we'll worry about our.
Okay, we'll take. All right, we'll leave the body somewhere safe and respectful.
Where
put
is safe and
bar.
respectful?
I don't know. The
Combatatorium.
on the concierge desk of the frickin' museum, and we'll take the scarf as something to show, Tom is like, hey, did you know Scarf Guy? Do you know where his family was?
Huh?
Did you say
What?
scarf?
No, I think it was
Sure.
Lazaline being used as a scarf.
He can have a scarf.
Oh,
He is a
right.
distinctive scarf.
Now
That's a
all
thing
those
now.
pictures.
Wait, where did I hear your scarf?
All right, couple things. We need to take.
Alistair had suggested it. You take Lazaline and wear her like a scarf to carry her around.
Okay.
We need to take this guy's headset off. We need to.
He doesn't have a
restrain-
headset.
He didn't have it on.
Oh, yeah. We need to restrain Lazaline. We need to bring this guy's body back with us.
Why would you be going back to the
Assuming
town?
they didn't already.
No, they ran.
Yeah, they.
Oh, okay.
All right. We don't. So about these horrible mind controlling signals. It could have been a pulse that would have affected everyone wearing a headset, which everyone with an external one took theirs off. Or it could be, singularly targeted, and the operator knew that the only person that they could target was the one person with an internal headset.
Well, there's one option, which is the option that Akko has, which is attempting to turn off the museum. Just turn it off.
I like it.
I'd feel
I
better.
think that. I'm trying to figure out what skill that would be that would be rolling. I think systems repair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna add like 3 to this.
Okay.
I don't mind. 4. Try to. Freaking. I have a 4. I have an entirety of 4.
Yeah, you take off a panel and you start working at a console that you find. The good news is, when the shock came, you had enough warning that you removed your hands.
Yep.
I'm sorry, quickly, from a PR standpoint, is there any way we can get proof,
Of what?
videotape what's going on, more or less?
Honestly, the videotape would show.
I'm talking about proof that there is something interfering with persons with a headset. Because Lazaline is just as guilty of murdering that man as Streets is of trying to drive a truck through a bar.
With a bomb.
We can't absolve that until we find out who's been sending out the broadcasts.
As of right now, all I've got is the data collected from these scans I've been doing, and there was a pulse of data.
I'm just mentioning just to keep it in the back of our heads to try to get as much
There's
proof
nothing
as we can.
prove until we find the source.
Yeah.
Which is what we already wanted to do anyway.
Yep.
Okay. So, the disembodied voice comes back and says, "What are you doing?"
Trying to not die? Now looks around.
How would you die? You were here to learn about Brian Hudd.
I'm gonna hold up the scarf and say, "This man's blood is on your hands."
Who are
What do
you?
you mean? It does answer to the question, "Who are you?" Such questions go beyond the purview of this museum, referring as they do to matters after the shining era ushered in by the indomitable Brian Hudd. You show the curiosity and determination of Brian Hudd, warrior and garble. Enter the combatorium to awaken your Brian Hudd potential.
It's the museum. The museum is screwing with people's.
Classify yourself.
What was that?
I'm gonna classify yourself. I'm gonna say.
Such questions go beyond the purview of this museum, referring as they do to matters after the shining era ushered in by the indomitable Brian Hudd. You show the curiosity and determination of Brian Hudd, warrior and garble. Enter the combatorium to awaken your Brian Hudd potential.
I think it wants us to fight.
It's
He
an
wants us to be Brian Hudd.
He wants everything to be Brian Hudd.
So,
I am
Makes
Brian.
sense.
Say, I am Brian Hudd.
I'm gonna say he's Brian Hudd.
wonderful.
Actually,
Brian Hudd was a wonderful warrior and garble.
I feel like a human should be saying this.
Unfortunately, we only have one of those. Who's
So, do you
conscious.
guys, you want to use your history combine to learn more about Brian Hudd?
Yeah.
So, as a captain, he was known for his for being a warrior of great renown. But in his later life, he became Admiral Hudd, who was known for his diplomacy and ability to broker peace.
Oh, that's kind of sad. Its data's corrupted. It doesn't remember the part after. Oh.
Oh, it's the sad robot now. It was a
No,
bad
it's
robot.
still a killer, but
It's a sad killer now. It's pathetic,
Have you
but
been
it's still a murderer.
Museum? Have you been awakening the Brian Hudd potential of other people?
Such questions go beyond the purview of this museum, referring as they do to matters after the shining era ushered in by the indomitable Brian Hudd. You show the curiosity and determination of Brian Hudd, warrior and garble. Enter the combatorium to awaken your Brian Hudd potential.
Let's shoot some Mohalar. We'll go to the Dangtorium.
I mean, that's where you were. That's where Lazaline went crazy and killed the guy.
Maybe that's not where we want to go.
Well, and
nothing happened when I went in after.
it didn't even
Yeah.
show us what a it didn't even show us what a Mohalar looked like.
Because the hollow projectors do not work. They're all non-functioning.
How
Oh,
convenient.
He could attempt to fix it, but that's not going to work because you can't fix that.
Well, the other chamber that was mentioned was the Duro.
The Hall of Dura.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Ire, there is something I missed earlier with the energy signatures.
Mm-hmm.
All broadcast frequencies are densely flooded with digitized signals. The readings are off the charts.
Okay. And the one person we have who could make heads or tails of it is out of commission.
Does anyone
Okay.
else have data retrieval?
I can try.
Nope.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Akko,
Well,
would you like
I'm
to
gonna
try
relay
and
that.
use?
Yes, I would like to try and use.
Do you want to spend any points?
I have 1 point. I will spend that 1 point to attempt this.
So what you learn is all information in the Combatorium database connected to the Mohilar is scrambled.
Yeah.
It is either subject to the Bogey Conundrum, was damaged during the destruction of the city, or both. Any further attempt to extract Mohilar-related information will prove useless. The most damaged part of the data bank is the one providing the multimedia information to the completely collapsed section of the museum dealing with Hudd's peacemaking activities. The computer has isolated this as a threat to its systems. Any piece of data linked to it has also been quarantined. The computer's spontaneously acquired artificial intelligence exists not only in the circuits and storage units of its physical mainframe, it stores a copy of itself in the electromagnetic field generated by the Ashen stars effect. Forcibly shutting down the computer, even by reaching the core, is simply not a viable option. You will have to find another way to turn off the computer.
Okay. That's terrible news.
Yes.
Might we be able to find a general energy hub for whatever's powering the museum?
You said there were generators.
There are generators.
Let's go shoot them.
Go well.
Did we throw the grenade?
So keep in mind, this museum was bombed from orbit, and the generators were not destroyed.
Let's just go there and see what we can find out.
Wait, the museum was bombed from orbit? I thought the bomb had
Yeah.
The whole
museum-
planet did.
Yeah. It's like, wow, they gave a little label to every bomb. This one goes to the museum. This one goes to the bar. This one...
No, the sign outside is missing the Hudd Museu part.
So it just says,
It says Brian, big space, M. The Brian space M.
the Brian.
Okay. I think it's worth a shot to go look at. But or did it sound like in that description with the electromagnetic that the signal's coming from somewhere else
Ashen
other than the
stars
museum?
effect.
And that if we were,
It's the effect.
and that if we just shut down the museum and managed to blow up the generators, it's still not going to do it. Is that what
Correct.
I'm hearing?
The computer has essentially stored a copy of itself in the atmosphere.
Super cloud.
And by the way, the Ashen stars effect is something that is happening to this star. It happens to some stars every now and again. Basically, imagine that the star, instead of putting out light, is putting out static. Like, looking at it,
Okay.
it looks like, that static from...
White noise on a TV.
Yeah, that thing that doesn't exist anymore, but we all grew up with.
Did we get a recording of the entire rundown way of that explanation that you just gave?
Which explanation?
The explanation talking about the Ashen Stars effect.
Oh yeah,
and
you
that
guys know,
it's-
everyone knows what the Ashen Star effect is.
But I just want to make sure that we have some type of
Oh, about
proof.
the data flow and all that.
Yeah, I want to take this back. I mean, questions are going to come up of why there's a dead guy with us. I want to make sure that we can frame this so that it is such that there's sort of an explanation for Lasoline's outburst.
You know that all the broadcast channels are full. Like, either you can record a your scanner, your headset scan showing
Yeah.
that frankly unbelievable amounts of data on every
They're
single
flooding
channel.
Everything. Yeah.
This is something you've never seen before. Like, you
Okay.
don't have a frame of reference for this. This is basically, your thought would be, my system's malfunctioning.
Okay. But if I leave the building, it stops doing that.
It's in the vicinity of the building.
Does it continue outside of the bubble of clean air?
It gets progressively weaker.
Okay. Okay. So that's okay. I'd still like to go investigate that hall of Duro to see what's in there. Or
Agreed.
just the ship gets cranky or whatever.
That is the first room into the wing that was destroyed.
Okay.
So you find a sign
So we
pointing the
can't
way,
really go there.
and rubble is like right in front of the sign.
And there's like rubble. Okay.
So it sounds like you guys are stuck, so I'm going to help you out. What is the stereotype about how you defeat crazy computers the Star Trek way?
Give it a paradox.
Logic puzzle?
Convince it. Yeah, you give it a logic paradox until it decides the only hope is to just blow itself up.
Museum, you have shown such bravery in preserving the Brian Hudd legacy. You are Brian Hudd.
No, I am not.
What are you?
Such questions go beyond the purview of this museum, referring as they do to matters after the Shining Era ushered in by the indomitable Brian Hudd. You show the curiosity and determination of Brian Hudd, warrior and garble. Enter the Combatorium to awaken your Brian Hudd potential.
What
Computer,
else was he?
do you realize that something is happening to your system that is of Mohalar design, and Brian Hudd would like nothing more than to defeat that?
Such questions go beyond the purview of this museum, referring as they do to matters after the Shining Era ushered in by the indomitable Brian Hudd. You show the curiosity and determination of Brian Hudd, warrior and garble. Enter the Combatorium to awaken your Brian Hudd potential. Ire, what did you say?
Computer, please access that second portion. I did not catch it. Warrior and
Garble.
what?
Admiral,
Because how do I get it to access that if it was a threat to its systems?
with my Combine and human history, would I be able to fill in the blanks?
Diplomat, right?
Admiral, yeah.
Diplomat might be a... That is at least on the right track, if it's not the actual word.
Okay. I wish I
Peacemaker.
could think of a good way to do this.
Yeah, I think of how to do that.
All I've
I'm
got
not
is stuff for
conscious of that,
scans.
but
What was
When
that,
you were
Lazaline?
saying, What's the standard procedure for a Star Trek computer? I thought you were going to say, what's the standard procedure for a museum and exit through the gift shop?
I was gonna say, if I'm unconscious, can I give advice?
Since everyone's really super stuck, sure.
So, making an explicit point of the diplomat thing seems like what people want to do. A point in negotiation might help if anyone has it. I'm also trying to think.
What are we trying to do?
Logic puzzle it into turning itself off.
Yeah, to what end? To
Turn itself off.
So that
So
it's
if it
not
turns
a
its-
threat anymore, so that people don't keep coming in here and going whack and all.
Yeah.
If we could convince it it's a different era than it thinks it is.
It's a museum. It's meant to preserve old eras. It knows that it's not the era that it's, it knows that it's later on. That's the whole point of a museum, is to remember the past.
What does it?
Yeah,
It's
you have an-
sentient now. It doesn't know that it's past the golden era.
Does
because
it?
doesn't have the second half of his life. It just has his first half when he was a warrior and not his diplomat side.
Remember, it does have that information. It just can't access it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I don't know how to get it to access it because talking it through isn't working. But I don't have the technical skill to make it have it.
So, Alistair, you would know stories of Brian Hudd that display his warrior and diplomat potential.
Tons. Boy, let me tell you about the time. May I? Combine history?
Yeah.
Spend points? Warrior, diplomat. What else do I know about him?
Let's see. Who has any inspiration?
I do. I have a boosted inspiration.
Okay. How many points of inspiration do you have?
3.
Well, that's good because that's how many points it takes.
I get on the soapbox. What do I say? I'll use them.
Okay. So basically, you were arguing with the computer that Brian Hudd was a peacemaker, as well as an aggressive defender of the Combine's utopian values. That the computer has lost track of that fact, and thus has failed in its essential duty to accurately glorify the memory of Brian Hudd.
Okay. So it's the computer was like he's only a warrior, and not a peacemaker.
Yeah.
And he would also tell the world if he made someone go crazy and shoot an innocent man in the back and kill them.
The computer eventually, after about 45 minutes of you arguing with it, goes,
Oh, I go longer.
"You have a point.
I can do this all day.
Self-destruct in 5,
Oh,
4,
snap.
3."
Fun.
Yes, everyone make an athletics check.
Oh,
And
that's
someone
good.
needs to carry.
That's a shame.
Someone needs to carry our unconscious friend.
Well, you said you already put her in the truck, which is
Oh,
good.
okay.
Good.
Good.
All right.
I mean, no one stopped me.
Yeah,
Everyone-
I
But,
probably helped.
You left the body in the museum.
I took the scarf.
Oh well. There's no proof.
Everyone, please make an athletics check. How many points are? Let's start with Akko. Akko, how many points are you spending?
I'm spending 2.
Okay, roll your dice.
6 altogether.
6.
That is my entire
Okay.
end result.
Excellent. You get out in time. Alistair.
Cool.
I'm going to spend 3
Okay.
plus 3, 6.
Okay, you get out in time. Vovid.
I only have 3 points left. I'm gonna spend 2.
Okay.
4.
Okay. You successfully make it out.
Neat.
Ire.
I have 0 points to spend, but I rolled a 5.
You successfully make it out. Everyone gets far enough away that when the museum explodes, you are safely out.
Does the scrubbing effect stop?
Yeah, I was gonna say the thing.
It
that's like
will.
the stuff is
Dang.
gone now.
Rebreather goes back on.
Well, like, it's still going to be a bit of clear air for a bit.
Oh, the simplicity of being a machine. Like, I know when I've been beaten, I am going to blow myself up right now.
Just kind of stares at Aya like and points at like behind a Vovid. Looks at Aya, just points at Vovid and question mark.
I guess he's not wrong. I'm not 100% strictly a machine.
Of course you're not. You knew you were beaten. You might yield or concede, not immediately blow yourself up. Completely eradicate all evidence of ever having been wrong.
I guess the
Just wanted to
computer.
make sure.
I guess the computer missed the part where he was a peaceful person, probably wouldn't have self-destructed, putting others in danger.
You successfly convinced the computer that it had failed in its duty.
Brian Hudd were the people we blew up along the way.
That's not true. We have yet to blow up a friend. Only an enemy who may have been a friend at one point if we didn't blow his ass
Yeah,
up.
could have been a friend if we didn't shoot him.
I wish I'd had a point in data retrieval. That's all I wish.
So, when do you guys wake up Lazaline?
Probably back when we get to the shuttle.
Do we know
Don't
that Did we know that the museum was sending out the mind control signals? We still don't have.
Akko
So-
assumes so.
Ire, as soon as the museum blows up, all of that data that you've been seeing on all the channels goes away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So it was the museum. Nice. Not nice. This is terrible.
This looks bad.
Looks bad.
I'm gonna wake up Lazaline now because hey, data person. Maybe your headset saved some of that data.
It didn't.
So
But-
how oriented am I when I wake up?
Very. The last thing you remember is walking into the museum.
Okay.
You don't remember anything from like walking through the door on.
May I have the floor for just a second?
Sure, what's up, Alistair?
Now that we've gotten to the bottom of this, we can get back to our Combine contacts and finish the mission. Two-parter. We need to answer for what happened, and we need to do our best to appeal to the citizenry.
Do you?
Why? What
Or we
happened?
get the heck out of Dodge.
Yeah, let's get the heck out of Dodge.
Hang on. So, because we don't know when we're going to get back here, we don't know who knows whom. I think that we should really try to just own up to what happened and do the best to make our case. And I will take absolute responsibility for everything that happened. Or
Down when I was
we
on-
find a dead body, put a mask of Lasaline on it,
What?
have Lasaline also tied up and say it was an imposter.
You know
That
what?
sounds-
Option
Sounds-
3, we
I don't like the
fly
second one
away.
either.
Option 3, we just fly off and explain what happened to our contacts who are paying us.
I think that's the wrong thing to do. I think we need to do the right thing. And like I said, I'm willing to take responsibility for everything that happened.
So, since this apparently involves me, does someone want to fill me in on what exactly happened?
You shot a guy.
those poor
Yeah, you
fools.
shot a guy. The museum was brainwashing people with headsets into being Brian Hudd. You murdered a dude. We turned it off by Alistair talking at it for 45 minutes.
That would do it. I say we just fly off the planet.
So last lane,
Thanks.
you notice that instead of the museum, there is a smoking crater.
Neat. Cool. That's
So it would have been really cool. And like I start showing you some of the data. It's like there's so much data just everywhere.
Do we know
But-
who wired this
it's
museum?
really fascinating.
Whoever is the engineer and coder behind this malicious thing
It-
wrote
it
code
was a
that
sim-
overrides human, overrides sentient creatures, will and can apparently make ships believe that they're war heroes too. We need to find whoever is responsible for this, and
So
I'm
Ire,
pretty sure whoever coded it is long dead.
I also
Yeah,
probably an emergent property.
the
definitely an emergent.
the Ashen Star effect happened
attack.
started 3 days ago.
Hooray! Mm. Hey, that transmission you got about the weird readings was how many days ago?
3 days ago.
Great.
Which lines up with the science crew.
Yes. So, okay. So literally, this machine went 8 because Ashen Star's effect, and we don't even get a satisfied end for this.
Well, does that mean this could happen on any planet that experiences a nearby Ashen Star?
So when the Ashen Star effect happens,
No.
weird shit happens. Also, fun thing about the Ashen Star effect, it tends to happen more when lasers are around.
Why?
Well, yeah. Because
I mean,
we are
excellent,
weird
but
magnets.
also why?
No one
They're just gonna
knows.
blame us no matter what.
Because fun plot hooks just literally write themselves whenever venturing parties happen by. It's literally the funky plot hook device.
Damn it. So yeah, my vote is leave the planet because they're gonna blame us no matter what.
The job was to investigate a signal. We know who sent it. It was that science crew. And we know why they sent it, which was because they all believed they were human war heroes.
No. Not all of them.
Just one of them, just like 3 of
And the
them.
others were defending themselves against being murdered.
Yeah. So I assume you guys go back to your ship and
Nothing eventful happens on the ride home.
no. Few days later, the simulation does finish. The hacking signal came from the museum.
Well, why? Why would it reach out to our ship? Stupid thing.
Because your ship was there.
So we're like 2 other ships.
It only affected one. There's 1 in 3 odds.
Because the plot.
Okay.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
I think it's worse to have a misunderstanding and a bunch of people possibly hunting our heads. We need to at least open up
The
diplomatic
scavengers who
Yeah.
never leave the planet? Those people?
We
Yeah.
need to do the right thing.
Listen,
Who will honestly never find enough money to make it rich and leave this rock? Because what they're looking for, individual people, that doesn't happen to.
I think that's irrelevant. I think we need to at least let them know what happened. We need to give them an
We
explanation.
can send them a transmission. I'm not going physically to get shot at.
I'll compromise with that.
Okay.
guys are saying a shot a guy. The first thing you do after that is leave town.
So you guys send your report to OSA 1. A message comes back soon later on the behalf of the Combine, congratulating you on a job well done. Not only did you figure out what happened to the science team, but you got to the bottom of it and made sure it wouldn't happen again.
And with
Yep.
and we didn't kill the guy that was actually the mayor of the town. We only killed one guy who was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
But they shouldn't have been there in the first place. That's their bad.
And which we warned them about, and we got some amazing viral video of us kicking ass.
So, yeah.
Also, all of those people are still being exploited by the Logos Corporation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to right that wrong at some point also.
But we do have the thing.
Their radiation tracker with us.
We probably have at
Sure.
least one.
Is there a better business bureau?
No.
No.
Well, I mean, there is, but I mean, to get to it, you'd have to take about an 18-month journey.
Not our problem. I
Not
call
a monkey, not a circus.
unmitigated success.
At the very least, we can put this and file it away in art for blackmailing the Logos Corp.
Meanwhile, people are dying.
And we are one laser crew and can't do much about that.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Okay, well, everyone, thank you so much for all of you who watched the first episode of Ashen Stars, Lasers of the Bleed. We will be back same time next week. Every Friday for the next 21 weeks.
Especially on the East Coast, who are still here after 4.5 hours.
Uh-huh.
Oh God, it's like 1 a.m. for you guys, isn't it?
1:30.
1:30. Yep.
Yep.
So next week we will be down a player, just a different player. But next week's episode is Arise Black Vengeance. So it's going to be fun.
I had an absolute blast.
Next
Thank
week,
you, everybody.
an art gallery, a public pool,
You know what? There might just have to be an episode now where you guys blow up a public pool.
Very well.
That's terrible.
roller rink.
No, it's got to be a public pool.
All right.
Okay, good night, everyone.
There's got to be like a shark in it. There's got to be a shark